We are back at it again here with another video with the Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with MMAT MMTLP Inc. sitting sideways here with a slight pullback here to begin the day. And we're also going to break down what's going on here with MMTLP Torchlight Preferred Shares as it's pulling back in the after hours. This was a big surprise. No one saw this coming, but right there towards the end of the day, a big pullback. And now it's trying to bounce back up from the $9 range back into $10. And today it broke above $12 and $12.50. The resistance I talked about, it rejected. We have a lot to cover, but in today's volatility, these were not the only stocks experiencing volatility. The overall market did as well. And our SPY bot at 10:10 a.m. sent out a bull indicator. And from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint with full strength there on 42 vision. And call options went up 200% plus within hours, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. We have a lot to cover here. And MMAT is trying to hold itself up while Torchlight Preferred Shares are experiencing more volatility. But before we break it all down, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunities that were mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity over the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the first home run of the day was from our Apple bot. Our Apple bot sent out a bull indicator at 10:10 a.m. And from that moment forward, the inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside. Full strength there on 42 vision. And call options went up 100% plus within hours, guys. Our second home run, we caught this one in the pre-market, slightly pulling back and consolidating. PALI. We caught Pally here sitting sideways going into the bell. The inflow stayed above the midpoint, full strength there on 42 vision, and it hit a highest point of 150% plus within minutes, guys. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity of the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And we look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with MMAT MMTLP Inc. And as you can see here in the charts, this is what I broke down on Friday and over the weekend. And here it is, right? We talked about how we hit a dip area here. And also we saw that strength and momentum going upwards. Full strength there into a rip area. Full transition from the rip area to the dip area. And then again, full transition from Friday to yesterday, Monday, into the rip area, right? And here we are with it slightly pulling back. And the last point of the dip is white with red borders. If it's your first time here coming across the channel, 42 vision allows us to see the dips from the rips and the rips to the dips in either direction. And we also use the inflow versus outflow and bull and bear indicators, which I'm going to pull up here as an extra layer of confirmation. And you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of our growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with MMAT under a bear indicator today in the pre-market after doing that full transition. And I had stated yesterday that the outflows have began, right? You could see it there. The outflows have began. They continued and crossed to the downside slightly, but inflows are trying to pick back up here. This is very interesting, and we need to talk about what's going on here in these charts. But let's look at MMTLP real quick, and we're going to jump right into it. So MMTLP Torchlight Preferred Shares was looking very strong, but the outflows have started since yesterday. And this is what I talk about in my videos as a hidden divergence when the stock is still going higher, but the outflows have started to dominate over the midpoint, right? Meaning that there's more outflows than inflows, but they haven't crossed just yet to destroy the chart's strength, right? But there's outflows coming in, and it actually lasted all day. And you could see there that big drop here, very, very sharp. And once those outflows crossed here, that's when things actually dropped with momentum to the downside. Almost as if all these outflows while the stock was going up in the hidden divergence have now impacted all at once. Once the inflows no longer dominated above the midpoint and the outflows crossed over and started to dominate, and you could see it there. But when we zoom in, which we're going to zoom in here, I want us to look at this chart on the 15-minute and even the 5-minute, right? Let's go ahead and look at that here. You could see that on the 15-minute, it has hit a white with red border area, and it's trying to bounce back up from the 920s back up, even though the inflows haven't started yet. It's still red and pointing down. We want to see this actually start to come back up. And I'm about to share with you guys what many seem to be speculating on, in the fact that this is a short week, that this is why things drop. Right now, all we know is that outflows are dominating. We do not have that as a guaranteed reason. Yes, it is a short week. We'll have to see, and time will tell. I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below. Do you think this is an overreaction or the beginning of actual weakness? I look forward to seeing those thoughts down below. Now, on the 5-minute here, you could see the same thing. It got that bear indicator, very quickly sharp drop, and it dropped from around $11.90 all the way down to $9, and it bounced back up, and it's around the $10 area, close to $10.50. It's slightly below it right now, so this is critical, these levels that we're watching. So on the 30-minute, it crossed down. On the 1 hour, which is very critical as well in the bigger picture, it has not crossed just yet. This is where we will know if this is an overreaction and it will continue into tomorrow and retest support levels down here, or it's going to try to bounce back up and turn from red to green back to the upside with strength pulling away from the midpoint. This is where it gets very interesting here, but we are under a bear indicator up here since the $12 mark, and today it rejected at $12.50. That was a critical resistance to watch above $12, as we've talked about in previous videos. Now let's go ahead and go back towards the 30 minutes. So here we are with the 30-minute. The support right now is $10. Below that is $9.50 and then $9. Those are the key levels I'm watching. I'm going to then watch if these outflows can slow down and pick back up on the 15-minute, also on the 5-minute, and see how much strength it has to bring itself back up, break through the resistance of $11, and start reflecting into the 30-minute as well. Even if it doesn't cross back up the midpoint, at least we want to see this go from red to green, trying to bring itself back up, something like what happened here when the stock went from $8.62 to $9, right? Not guaranteed to make a move exactly like that, but something to watch and keep in mind, right? So the resistance is $11, the first one I'm watching, and then above that is $11.50, and then we know that $12.50 is a critical area of resistance. It seems like that's where it could actually break out even higher, right, to new all-time highs. But something to keep in mind again is that it hit an all-time high once it rejected at $12.50, and that's the highest that we've seen Torchlight preferred shares of MMTLP in this run. Now again, I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below, how you guys feel about this, and where do you see it going from here. Do you think it's an overreaction? Now let's go ahead and remove here these drawings, and you could see here we're under a bear indicator on MMAT. The inflows are trying to pick back up, and this is going to be pivotal to see, are they going to follow each other, or are they going to have a divergence or indirect correlation no longer, right? Like, we need to see, is MMAT going to fall with MMTLP, or will MMAT try to hold itself up and bring MMTLP with it? So this is going to be very interesting going into tomorrow, the rest of this week, right, on Friday, and then into next week. But here we are above $2. This is a strong move back up. We want to see this stay above $2, and then the first support below that is $195, and then comes down here at $190. We talked about that in yesterday's video. And to the upside, we want to see this back above $210, and then towards the highs up here of $220 to $225. And these inflows, we want to see them pick up from the midpoint to the upside, full strength, And right now the inflows are at 0.04, and the highs of inflows from yesterday were 0.63. So it has room, not guaranteed to make the same move, but it has room to the upside. Now, if it crosses to the downside, this bear indicator can continue to dominate over the chart and quickly start to reflect into the chart even more. So right now, the fight with the bulls trying to stay above $2 shows some strength, but the moment it goes below it, we have to watch these support levels very carefully. And I'm going to be watching these outflows as well, how they react. Now, in the bigger picture on the 1 hour, you could see it here as well. The inflows are still above the midpoint, no bear indicator, and we're still only at dark green bars. No red bars, no white with red borders. So something to keep in mind and not ignore. And on the 15-minute here, it's trying to hold itself up, but the outflows have crossed. So we want to see this come back up, full strength here, and cancel this bear indicator here from the pre-market at around 212 and push itself where it could start reflecting not only on the 15-minute, but the strength into the 30-minute. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.